Hello, beautiful people. Warm welcome to the Light Warrior Collective. My name is Inken, and I'm happy to serve you as one of your hosts of the Light Warrior Collective. We love to connect with you, and we love to inspire you to, to slow down, to pause, and to take care of yourself through inner work. Which leads me to today's topic and our beautiful, beautiful speaker today. We are so grateful to have her as a part of the Lightwear Collective for such a long time. And we really value Edulka, who is a beautiful woman. She works in the beauty field. She's always impressing me when I look at all the different things that she's doing, from being a plastic surgeon, being a dermatologist. At the same time, she is a Reiki master, and she is a hypnotherapist. So you really have this huge variety of amazing things that you bring together, and that I think is making the wisdom that you're sharing with the people. And we are really grateful that today you are here as one of our speakers to share your wisdom with our beautiful community and to inspire them to care for themselves from a holistic perspective, which I really, really love, as I'm an advocate for that. And through my disease, through my own story, I really tuned into the power of holistic living. So I'm very grateful that you are here today and sharing this powerful wisdom with us, my dear. I would love to hand it over to you so you can explain a little bit and introduce yourself to those who are not familiar with you. A lot of people know you, love you, and thank you, Edulka, for being here today.
I thank you very much. I have told some of my friends that I invited to today's speech that this is one of my favorite spaces in life. We're gathered from all around the world, really with the intention of help us grow one to other. Every one of us has their own field of action and expertise and knowledge, and we share every Sunday some of our expertise, some of our questions, some of things that we're going through in life in order to enlighten the others. So this is one of the best places that I always try to be with, because on everyday struggles, we can always have this light warriors collective space where we can search and recharge our energies, recharge our batteries. And I'm very glad that I'm able to share with you some of the things that I have been going through. As you know, I'm a medical doctor. That was my bottom base formation in university. I was always eager to help people. And I thought that if I would study medicine, I would be able to cure people. And I really began to struggle when I became a doctor, because as you would see in my presentation, I was trained to not to cure, but to maintain people alive, and not always to cure them. So many times, normal allopathic medicine just maintains you alive, but sick. You don't get cured. And that was not what I was looking for. So I began to look for other techniques, things that would be added to whatever I was doing in order to really get people to thrive and to get them to the best expression of what they are. And this is also with the soul, with the mind, with our beliefs, and always looking for happiness, because life is to be happy, and also to be able to realize yourself. And also, let me tell you that I not only do my specialty work and the other, which is not medical, but I also worked 20 years in intensive care. And I still work in an ambulance with emergency medicine. So I'm always in touch with suffering and with a lot of things that people do with themselves because of careless of their own health and lack of love. So caring for ourselves within a holistic perspective tries really to englobe everything that is with art. As you heard, I'm a plastic surgeon. I then go to dermatology and functional medicine. And I try to do with holistic other therapies to implement the rest of our lives. I was born in Ecuador. So my origin comes from a father who was Jew and escaped from the Second World War. And my mother had a Spanish descendant, and they produced me in Ecuador. I came to Brazil 30 years ago, trying to do my specialty of plastic surgery. And I stayed here. So I am practicing medicine and plastic surgery here in Brazil. So how does mind, body, and spirit work? They are together, and when they really are in equilibrium and they really are flourishing, we also produce happiness and abundance. How can we receive abundance if we are broken? Many times we have something which is bothering us. Sometimes we're sick, and it's impossible to produce any kind of abundance or happiness if we're broken in some way. So we have the prosperity triad, which involves spirit, body, and mind. Is not only to be with a wonderful mind if we don't take care of our body. It's not only to have a wonderful body and do everything great, but we don't have a spirit practice, and we don't have a meditation. We don't have a faith. So every time we're lacking of this kind of things, we are in disequilibrium, and some of our own being suffers. We have three states in our body, and we usually, for abundance, many times we have the part which is the idea, which is security. When we feel secure, we are calm, we have creativity, we have clarity, and of course, prosperity flows. But many times we go into survival modes because of our life, because of what's going around us, because of our work, because of the current situation of our body, if we're going through an illness or we don't feel well. So anxiety really up comes. We feel the urgency to do something. We're always trying to see what can we do. We're rushing all the time. And then unhappily, we go to impulsive decisions. Those impulsive decisions really are in dispersed energy. And then we come many times to this very known theory of fight or flight, where we're frozen. Then we are shut down. We are in a withdrawal situation, and we are disconnected. Then suddenly we have a total block. We don't know what to do. We're just like stuck. We feel like we're broken. We feel like we're in not good health, or many times a disease comes out. And for me, that is the origin of more severe processes, even like cancer. So our body memorizes emotions, which is the amount of beautiful or bad things that we are able to produce in our lives. So our cells are the storage of memories, especially a part of the cells which is called mitochondria. This huge process stores what we feel of life. So we can have the feel of the scarcity, and there are some people that when you have like what we have, half bottle of water, some people say, oh my God, I only have half water, half bottle. This is not going to be enough. I won't be supplied. And there are other people that are always linked in abundance and say, hey, it's wonderful that I have half a bottle of water, because then I'll be able to be hydrated until I find another source that I can go to have some more hydration. And the wonderful, beautiful process is that we can reprogram those thoughts. through conscious practice. So we can really create a prosperity mind and get out of this blockage, which really make a lack process and suffer from the bottom of ourselves in our mitochondria. We can memorize, we can change those lack and scarcity memories to the abundance, love, health, and happiness of mind. And now researches are really coming up that chronic stress reduces even our cognitive ability in 40%. And things like regular meditation and prayer really can be health markers. There are some studies performed with people in ICUs, in the intensive care units, where there were some volunteers that prayed for that person. The people even didn't know anything about that. And there was a group of prayer that were gathered, or meditation, or other practices to restore the health of those patients that were in tubes and in this breathing machines with artificial life support. And they are measured now of an improvement, a real improvement in those patients. And now we have very important universities and my places like the Mayo Clinic that are having this research results that it has a really different outcome of the patients that have this improvement of other people praying and sending them energy, and the other that are just having the medical treatment without any kind of mind and spiritual help. We can regulate our nervous system also with breathing. So breathe, which is what we do normally, we can improve our breathing conditions and make, as we have done many times in our meetings here in the Light Warrior Collective, we can even have a practice of 5 minutes in the mornings and at the end of the day to make a conscious inhalation, holding for some seconds, and conscious exhaling, thinking of health, thinking of restoring our well-being, and it really helps. We also have other connection with the heart which now is known as a producer of hormones. We thought many years ago that the hormones were just produced in the brain and then sent for the rest of the body. And now we know the heart and our gut are fountains of a lot of hormones and substances that are able to put health and connection with our own self and with the universe. So the second exercise can be coherence with the heart, a connection with the heart, and really flow with music with our heartbeats. There are other practices of movement and be gathering with other people, searching for places where we can walk and avoid stagnant. When we don't move at all, we really get sick. So walking outdoors, dancing, stretching, even if you're in your work session, you just get 2-3 minutes of stretching and moving and just stand up. That makes a wonderful change. If you're able to do 15 to 20 minutes of walking, it doesn't have to be very fast walk. It's just moving. It can increase your lifespan, your health, your mind, your spirit amazingly. Well, this is something that really we have to think about, the unbearable lightness of the self. Never too late. We can always be in our best, but have in mind that obesity and overeating, it's not healthy. And this is one of my favorite pictures. These two ladies are 81 years old. So our choices really determine our future. We have been used to see this lady on the right, and 80 years, it's like, oh, you're so old. But now we have children, 12, 13 years old, which are old because of options, and they are getting sick. And this is something that we can avoid in our own houses, in our own homes, to put them in this choice of healthness. And you see, 80 years can be the beginning of, or the constitution of a healthy, beautiful life. And this is never too late to be what you might. It's just to begin. And that was one of my choices also. Never too late, just begin and go on. And of course, this is what we all of us like and want, but this should be together with the rest of our mind and spirit, because a lot of people is just mechanically going to a wonderful shape and doing a harmful amount of drugs, hormones, stimulants, and so on, that you can find everywhere in order to have a very fast change on your body, but it's really harmful. So this is a call that this is wonderful, but it should be our only goal to have in life, to show out. And make our children a health champion. Invest on our children's health. Please help them to make exercise and to be healthy and to love to be healthy. And this one also, it's one of the best examples that I have, because all of them are athletes. The first place in all their sports. And you see that we don't have a common body, which is now in fashion or whatever, that you have to go to and force your body to be. Try to get in close terms with yourself and see what you want to be and how your body is able to develop to your best shape. So don't force your body to be in a fashion way that now is blogged or promoted in propaganda, because it could not be what your body is able to be. So be really honest and love your only vehicle. We're here in this dimension because we have the body. If we wouldn't be in our body, we wouldn't be in this dimension. We wouldn't be in this planet. We would already be in another form of existence. I really believe death is not the outcome and the end. It can be the beginning. But in this life now, we are in this dimension with the body. So be grateful, be cherish, and get the best body that you can with yourself. It's unique. And this is how we look. I got this in the Netherlands and one of the museums, and I love it because this is what we are. We have the skin over, but this is what really makes up our body, our presence, the way that we can introduce and exchange and move in this world that we live every day. And special remembrance of our animals and the pets and the relationship that we have that's not only human. Many times when we have a pet, we are able to really be in peace and have a wonderful health and be in a very better state of being and kind and peaceful. Because to connect with them, you really have to be in peace. Otherwise, they just get out of you. They just escape. Because when you're in this survival or in this stagnant mode, that you're stressed and we have a set in Spanish that is kicking the dog out. We really can't be in connection with these beautiful, wonderful beings. And then there comes a very controversial phase, which is our nutrition. Our nutrition is our divine fuel. So hydration, as I was saying before, is very important. So pure water is very important. Natural foods, it's really of importance. And to reduce, if we can, the ultra-processed food. I know in places like Japan, it's very hard to have something that comes directly from the farm or from the land, because they almost don't have that. But if we have the chance in our countries, please try to preserve and prefer food that comes in the natural way and not ultra-processed food. And you always can serve abundance with an intoxicated body. And this, I know this is very controversial. And of course, I'm a very defendant of meat, which because meat has only things that have only in meat, like vitamin 3, vitamin A, vitamin K2, choline, iron, creatine, carnosine, omega-3s with DHA, glycine, collagen, vitamin 12, especially vitamin 12. We're not able to process that in our bodies, and we have to ingest that. So we have like 200,000 years of evolution. And in this 200,000 years of evolution, our ancestors were hunters. And they didn't have the fridge to say, hey, let's see what we're going to have for breakfast. So the idea of fasting and eating meat comes from our lineage, from our DNA inheritance, because they were hunters. Sometimes they ended up in the bushes with some amount of fruits. They would eat all of them at once. And some water, they found a lake or some water, and they would drink it all at the same time. And then they would hunt. In the beginning, they didn't have fire. So they were able to hunt. The first contact was with the fat of whatever they were able to kill, to eat. And then the second part was to get to the meat. And they would eat everything they could until the next time. They were not able to save what they was not able to eat in that moment. And they had to abandon the rest of the hunt and go on with their lives. So now a lot of people are not eating meat, or they have other kind of ideas and beliefs. I have nothing against them. I have no controversy ideas. But if you are in one of those other diets, especially not eating meat, you really have to have supplementation, because you won't have the nutrients that your body has and need. So this is very, very important. You can have special compounds that have already the amount of balance that you can just make it like a shake and at least supplement. And of course, you have vitamins, minerals, omega-3, and all the other things that get our bodies functioning well when you don't have a complete diet. And there's something else. In the last 100 years, we have depleted the soils. So many times, even having a very good nutrition, the food that we eat, that we have, don't have anymore the things that had before, because the fields don't have the amount of minerals that had before, because they're depleted. So we still have to supplement, and that is very important. What to supplement? There is a way of making a blood test and another spectrum of light test that you can do through the skin to see the amount of vitamins and minerals, and also toxic things that you have in your blood and in your cells. Because many times we ingest, like, let's say, some of the fishes of the sea are already contaminated with mercury. So many times the mercury in your blood, which is of course not healthy at all, it's accumulated. So you have to measure that out to be able to take it off, then with special substances, and clean you up, because this can collect in your brain and then give you impairment of thoughts and your activities. So this is really important. Something else is that the cardiac coherence, the body that doesn't distinguish imagination from reality. So you can practice gratitude, as we saw last week with our amazing Jenny. We can feel abundance before it arrives, and we can reprogram our body to receive. So this is very, very important. Plus what we eat and what we move. And the journey of integral prosperity comes with health of the body, with regulation of the nervous system, with a clear mind, and then we're able to make wise decisions. So prosperity comes from all this chain. It's not to get the lottery. We can really work prosperity, and we're able to get it in abundance as natural as we take care of all the other parts of our being. Something else that I really learned in the last years is about sleep, and that is sacred. Rest is sacred. I always thought that if I would be able to sleep just 3 hours or less, then I would be able to accomplish a lot of things that I never had the time to do. And for my surprise, when I did my last specialty of metabolic or functional medicine, I realized that sleep is when your body really takes care of the cleaning and the maintenance of your system. It's like a hotel. When you are out of the room, people come clean and make and change sheets and everything. But when you are inside of the room, they really don't come in unless you go there and say, hey, please clean my room. So if you're inside of the room, that means you're awakened. Your body is not able to do the cleaning, the renourish, the get rid of the dead cells. So the amount of hours of sleep, many people usually put a media of 7 to 8 hours. At least 6, it's important, because really during sleep, as it says in this slide, God reorganizes our energy. So no rest, no prosperity, and no rest means aging and disease. And I took this slide. I have a collection of slides because there are substances that really impair our brain. So this is the effects of caffeine, not healthy caffeine, but I used to drink a whole bottle of caffeine in my shifts in the ICU to be awakened. But I didn't know that that was really distorting my brain, my circulation. And there are some other things when you smoke pot, when you have drugs, when you have Alzheimer's. But you see from the left where you have a normal brain, see what happens when you have a lot of caffeine, and see how it really gets to an abnormal brain cognition and function. So a lot of excess of stimulants is not healthy at all. And then we have the chronic vicious cycle. When we have chronic stress, we have a compromised health, then we don't have energy for anything. We are not able to think clearly, so we make sometimes bad decisions. Then, of course, get you on less prosperity and of more stress, and then the cycle goes on. So health is a fully spiritual responsibility. Taking care of our health is not a vanity. We are the co-creators with God, and our body is an instrument, is our vessel And a tuned temple is where God is dwelling. So our health is not an obstacle for prosperity. It is the path of prosperity. And what are the practices that we can start today? We can start, if we have some lacks of this health, we can choose one of these things, like daily movement, like conscious breathing, like sleep better, like intentional nutrition, daily gratitude, and at least say, okay, now I promise I will change. If you already do some of them, wonderful, increase one of them. If you already do all of them, okay, have a little more time of the day, and take someone to your path. If you're not doing any of them, think which is the easy one that you can start with. And don't start with the one which is the hardest, because then we really have to make a lot of effort. And if it doesn't come out, we really throw it out. Start with the easy one. Start with the one that you believe it's easy, and you can implement every day. Because small daily actions come to big transformations. As people here in all their conference has said, 1% every day, one thing is 365 days of change. 2% is double, almost 700%. So every small thing gets to big transformation. And this is something that I did just to tell you that there is no limit. We were in Monroe Institute meditation one day for bending spoons. And of course, it looks like it's impossible to do. But we are able to do everything. We're able to do that work. So this is something that I did. It was able to bend. It was very easy. I had two attempts. One, I was not really in the mood. I was in the shift and I was not able to do it. And the next day, the next time I did it, I was really in contact with my own self, with the universe, and got in contact with the vibration of the tools of the metal, because everything in the universe has their own vibration. As we have a vibration, our walls are vibrating, everything is vibrating in the universe. So we're able to move from one dimension to another dimension and get in touch with the point of a metal that's vibrating also, and be part of this gut expression as a quantum spoon bending. And we are radiant persons, and we have wonder positive energy. And this is something very interesting also that probably all of us know, which is Dr. Hawkins, the map of consciousness. And it has to do with the colors of the rainbow and also the vibration of energy. So we have, when you are vibrating lower, I'm going to give you the full chart, you feel that things are happening, are making against you. So it happens to me. As you go a little up, you see that things are doing by me. Then when you raise to love and to be more aware, you see things are happening through you. And finally, when you are one with the universe, you go and things are happening as me. So the worst thing that we have are shame, guilt, and apathy. So shame is something that we can change with something as humiliation and to be miserable. We really can change this easily, asking for forgiveness or things like that. Guilt is something that doesn't get us to anywhere. And apathy is really now very common in the world. People that has a lot of information, a lot of WhatsApp, a lot of Instagram, but they're in nothing. So they just go in the screen, but nothing happens. Get out of that. Even grief is better. Fear is better. anger, to be angry at what's going on in your life, it begins to move you to thrive. And then, of course, everything, if you can always try to see inside of yourself love. Something that I learned, and it was beautiful, is everybody loves someone or something. So get to your mind the object of your love. Can be a pet, can be your mother, can be your father, can be your spouse, can be an ice cream, whatever you love, and feel that deep inside of you. Then just take the object away and stay with the feeling. And after this feeling, let it run all through your body and stay in that feeling. If you're able to have joy, to laugh, even goes higher, peace, even better. And of course, enlightenment can be part of our lives when we have some experiences of really enlightenment. And also the teachers and the masters we follow, they are enlightened, and we can even ask them to give us part of their experience of enlightenment to our souls. And this is very funny because the primitive man lived in the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, and us in the current time are in the Anxiolytic, because many people is in drugs to try to just get something to release anguish and nervousness and all the other feelings that are not pleasant at all in our lives. So now we have a lot of drugs, and I hope that we don't have to get through them, enabled to be able to live. And we are the only limiting factor of our evolution. So to awaken the process is just the tip, but this is what starts everything to thrive. So all starts in how much we believe in ourselves. And this is very important. We're able to do anything. It doesn't matter on where we start. Just believe. And as the tides, when the tide comes up, it comes up with all the boats. So we can also, when we are thriving, we can take everybody around us with us. Health begins the happiness program. We can always be together in a beautiful space, and to be with friends, it's very important. We be with other human beings, it's very important. We show social animals, and we are not created to be inside of four walls with no companion at all. That is more harmful than a disease. There's a study comparing smoke and loneliness. And loneliness is even worse than smoking. So please be with other people. Breath work is amazing, meditation, and you can do it everywhere at any time. Affirmations, many things we can affirm, but affirmations don't work by themselves. When you have an affirmation, vibrate the affirmation inside of your being, feel it inside, and see how it vibrates inside of you. Then the universe really gets it. Sometimes our inner light shines so bright that irritates darkened edges of other people, which is something that we have to live with. And there's always the way that we can be with people that are unlike us. Just look for them. And as I told you before, medicine taught me how to treat diseases, but not to cure them. So I refuse to maintain people alive that sick. And as somebody said, we only die once, but we live every day. So make a life of everyday living instead of something that puts us like a die process every day. And age is just a date in the calendar. Doesn't have anything to do. We have people older, which are amazing, as I showed you. And unfortunately, we have a lot of kids, adolescents that all are already depressed, sad, obese, and without any implement or will to live. A lot of suicidal people. These are numbers that are not passed through because it's increasing every day. Every time the age is less. So I believe really that we can do something with our energy. And time is the only currency we have. When we're born, we begin to spend it through all our life, and it doesn't go back. So remember, time is the only currency we have, and use it very, very, very wise and with happiness. The quantum theory, the quantum biology says that now in the space, we're now able to connect with other dimensions. We are here with this body, but our soul and your mind are able to go to other dimensions and be with the universe. We're part of the universe. We're part of the stars. Our composition in our body is exactly of the stars. So we are able to go to the stars and don't ask for less. I trust that what I desire is already on the way. And trust is the essential part when it comes to manifestation and places us in a state of trust and faith.
If you're feeling stressed.
Something very important is, I didn't talk about religion because this can be a very sensitive matter. If you are or not religious at all, but prayer and the connection with the whole, with whatever we call God or universe is very important for us. So I really want you to feel this, and it's really amazing.
If you're feeling stressed and your mind's a mess, wanna decompress, take a few deep breaths. It'll make you feel okay, and there ain't no doubt this'll be a better day. Breathing in and out.
And the last presentation, I hope you can hear it, but you can read it.
Tu cuerpo se recrea según tus pensamientos. Creas un hígado nuevo cada 6 semanas, piel nueva cada mes, y en menos de un año renuevas tu cuerpo entero. Tus pensamientos son el arquitecto de este proceso. Si tienes problemas de salud o quieres mejorarla, repite esta afirmación mañana, tarde y noche. Mi cuerpo está en perfecta armonía. Cada célula vibra con salud radiante, fuerza y vitalidad. Guarda esto como recordatorio y compártelo con quien lo necesite. Cuanto más lo repitas, más programas salud y vitalidad en tu subconsciente y en tus células.
And we're always able to have this. Let's take a big and deep breath in. Hold it for a little while. And exhale very slowly. If you feel, you can close your eyes. And with each breath, think that you have roots that are coming from your tailbone, going inside of the middle of the earth, where you find some diamond crystals that are going to purify everything that comes from your breath and from your body. Feel that everything that comes out is cleaning, and through these roots, it's coming up from your tailbone, up, 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 coming from your chakras, from your root to your belly button, to your abdomen, to your heart, to your throat, to your third eye, and coming and going up to the universe. From the universe, there's another beautiful violet light that comes down, comes from your chakras, and cleanses Feel every single cell of your body being filled with this beautiful light. And feel that this process of exchange makes you happier and makes every cell of your body healthier. Feel the pump of your blood and your heart mixing with this beautiful light, purple light of love. And in each part of your soul, it comes out like a fountain, which comes to every other color of the spectrum, feeling each cell what it needs with what it wants in order to exchange everything that doesn't serve you anymore, everything that it can be in not equilibrated, comes down and goes from your root chakra to the earth, where it's cleaned, transformed, and comes back renewed. I'm going to leave you 1 minute in silence so that you can feel this process taking place on you with every breath. And now slowly feel that you're in a circle and you have everybody who's in this meeting in that circle. Feel that you're giving your right hand to the left hand of the person in your right, and you put your hand over that left hand. And you extend your left hand, and the person on your left is going to put her or his right hand over your hand. Now we're going to share the same energy in the circle, and we're going to help each other to thrive. You can see now a huge amount of energy, like a pile of fire, coming from the center of our group and going back to the universe. We're donating our love and energy to the universe so that it can come to others in the whole planet to restore health, happiness, peace, and good thoughts and goodwill for the whole humanity and everyone in all the universes and all the dimensions that we can go. Take one more big breath. You can take out your hands of your neighbor. Begin to feel your body again. Stretch your fingers, your neck, your head, your feet. And when you're ready, you can come back and open your eyes. Welcome back, everyone.